ladies and gentlemen. It's a beef from Barnzy show, telling all they know. Bringing stories in the many years they were on the road. Couple laughs, all the good and bad memories ball. Wait, Chris became a senior. Yeah, he getting pretty old. It's the Barnzy show, telling all they know. Bringing stories in the many years they were on the road. Couple laughs, all the good and bad memories ball. Wait, Chris became a senior. Yeah, he getting pretty old.
I don't think he is sorry. I'm just saying.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I don't think he's sorry even a little bit. But we are here today. Welcome to the Beef and Barnzy Special Edition Bonus Coverage Monday. We're going to recap things we heard over the weekend, including the biggest regional of the summer so far in the Southwest region at Fire Lake Casino. How are you this afternoon, Beef?
Pretty good. That drive back from Oklahoma is a bit of a bitch, to say the least. It's cool. I get to Dallas and I'm like, oh, almost home. Then I realized I'm only really halfway. So, it was definitely interesting. If you're watching the review of the replay of this on YouTube, if you click in the description below, there'll be a link to all the balls that we used this weekend. There'll be a lot of them. Michael Holloman had an inspired round robin, to say the least, including a 300 against me. Cheers, pal.
I'm one of the hard pairs on top of it. So
yeah, well, it was definitely hard for me.
Yeah.
And then it actually got close. Sean Maldonado had a rally, 300 game 6. And then game 7, he actually played against Michael. And Michael struck out for 237 and Sean got up in the 10th, cold-blooded, threw all three in the 10th for 238. Certainly made the position round at least interesting, until Michael said, well, that's cute that you got within 70, but here's 279. So even if you bowl 300, I'm still going to win.
That did take a little of the suspense out of things.
But as is often the case, the excitement in the position round was down with the toes. I was 8th playing Sean Lavery. You were 10th playing Anthony Lavery, or 9th, I think. 9th playing Anthony Lavery. And AJ Chapman was 11th. And towards the end of practice, I made a silly suggestion. I said, hey, what about a $20 pot game just for the guys down the end? And everybody was all good with it. And even Miles Duty tried to get in on it, but with him being left-handed, he was told, no. Goodbye. So it was just the four of us, and it was pretty competitive. I had 290 running through like 6 or 7 frames. And you were, well, let's see what you did. Here's the 12th shot. Curving it.
Who knew? Didn't even know that was still possible. So
I think one of the lines that made me laugh the most about that was AJ Chapman saying, you do realize we're bowling for a lot more than $20 a game in the prize fund. But, you know, Chris.
It's cute from somebody who is a career earnings hasn't got to my 17th best year yet. So,
well, I think more a case of he was like, he didn't really understand how the concentration could get that much sharpened for a $20 side bet when we were playing for 4,000 all day.
To be fair, the 3 pairs I hit before that were also 3, 4, 13 and 14, and 21 and 22. So,
yeah, I mean,
it's been a while since I've seen my ball push and then hook off the right spot in about an hour. So,
yeah, I felt sorry for myself when I realized that, but then I realized exactly the problem was we were playing all of those pairs because we bowled 7 of the 8. So it didn't feel like I was as victimized as I thought to start with because everybody had that draw. Frankie, on the other hand, that didn't go so good for him with with the 3 games to go, with 2 games to go, he was in third, and he got 13 and 14, and then he got 13 and 14 for the position round. For perspective, if Frankie had bowled 100 game 7, he would have probably finished 5th. Maybe 6th. But because he bowled 160, he stayed on that pair to bowl 160 again and ended up 9th. So what ball were you using that game, Chris?
Yeah, it was a flux. It was actually a 15-pound flux.
The regular flux.
Yes, the solid one from a little bit longer ago. So
yeah, that came out really at the start of the year, didn't it?
Yeah, I guess. Let's see. Well, I used it in the Weber Cup last year, and it was pretty new then. So it was a Bowl Expo ball last year.
Okay, so there you
go.
Right
a year old. So,
what else did you use? I saw a bit of Booyah Pro going down early on.
Yeah, there was a little Booyah Pro. My trusty DCT went for a little while, but it blew up on me. The bridge finally completely. It'd been coming for a while. That ball is 6 years old, but it finally bit the dust. And then I threw some of the new balls, actually. I threw a lot of the Aspect and the Honey Badger Revival. And, both balls I can go around them a little bit and do some different things. It's pretty excited about those introductions coming up at the end of the month. So,
yeah, Anthony Lavery had some success, I think, this weekend using the Aspect a little bit.
He did. He cracked him pretty good with that. He hit him with the Revival the day before when there was a little bit more friction. And that's kind of how those balls play off each other. The Aspect is kind of a middle benchmark type ball, and the Revival is a little bit sharper off of it, a little more asymmetrical. Well, since the Aspect's symmetrical, everything's a little more asymmetrical. But yeah.
So just so that it's somewhat fair, Holloman used the red pearl tank for the majority of his score, and then he when that got a little bit squirrely, he went to the maroon tank. They obviously have extra names other than just the colors. I'm just not aware of what they are. Moldy used a variety of balls. He used the purple hammer on the fresh. He cracked them really good in the qualifying with an Outlook, Columbia Outlook. And then he might have been using a Beast later on. Him and Doherty tend to like quite a few of the same balls, and Doherty really likes that Beast. So they were just some of the things he was using. Frankie was a pitch purple guy on the fresh. He was actually wheeling his pitch purple. And then he changed to a Prodigy for quite a while. Then in the round robin, he seemed to be using a lot of balls. Phase 2s seemed to be quite popular as well. I, on the other hand, had I had a lot of bowling balls. When I say a lot, I mean a lot, like 30 with me. And because I drive a truck, and it doesn't really matter whether I take them out or not. So they were in there. And we went through quite a few. So the first day I used a combination of 2 different pitch blacks on the fresh. And then I changed into a Axiom that looked like that was a good option. The Idol looked a little bit too angular. Then when that got a little slow, I changed into a shiny IQ Nano Pearl. I really like what I'm seeing out of that ball since I've shined it. For me, it was a little too it was stronger than I expected it to be, and the layout that I put on it just meant that the surface made it just loses too much energy going down the lane.
Yeah.
And then I changed to my trusty High Road Pearl late on. So fast forward to Sunday, I decided I was going to try something different. So I started with the pitch purple, shot 2-0 on the fresh, didn't really like that. So then I went back into my Axiom, used that, and then finished with the High Road Pearl. So we came to the round robin, and I knew that I was going to have to make a pretty good run at it. So I headed back out to the truck, got rid of 5 of the ones I had, brought in some more, and Electrify Hybrid came out. And I thought, oh my God, I found the solution. I shot 240 the first game with a couple of ring 10s late on, and I was really happy. I go to the next pair, and it lasted like 3 frames, and then it was hooking too much or not enough. So then I went back into the Axiom, and then Yeah, I used the Axiom for the majority of my good stuff until late on, where I had 2 pairs in a row where I had no idea what was going on. So I got a bit of love out of the idle late on. That looked better. They were a little tighter down the lane. But yeah, that was overall. I think 6th was a pretty good end for me. Being I never really felt like I was bowling that great this weekend. Like I think you were kind of similar. We had patches where it felt like, oh, this feels pretty good. And then there was just patches of like, how are you this bad? So, yeah, like, why did you think this was a good idea?
I
had a lot
struggled on Sunday myself with execution, some other things, made some really, really just poor mistakes. But I mean, I guess it happens. That last game kind of covered up a lot of mediocre bowling on my end, and I moved from 9th to 4th and picked up an extra $500 for.
Yeah, no, it was actually, it might have even been a little bit more than that. You were really curving it. Like that one in the 12th wasn't. It's a little hard.
I understand on that one a little bit.
Yeah, you were like, you were close to 17, 18 to the rim.
Yeah.
Way out there. And I threw quite a few in the right gutter. I had a nice one against Maldonado, triple, miss 9, triple. That was a particularly useful game. Felt good.
Quick way to 259.
Yeah, I didn't get the job done, but I did manage to get the victory. So that was nice, considering that Maldonado was in Terminator mode early on in the round robin.
Some people, nice to see a Mark Anderson sighting living up there in Oregon Paradise. He doesn't really talk to us commoners much anymore.
The world's poorest millionaire.
Nobody lives better than that guy. I'm telling you, he's winning life.
I think Steve is talking about you there the last game.
Yeah, everybody's surprised about that these days, so it's always fun.
Steve actually bowled really good on Sunday. Yes. He put a run on it. He actually had a chance going into the last game. It was good. It was there was definitely high scores out there, but if you did the wrong thing, there was definitely low scores out there. It wasn't as easy as I maybe anticipated. It was very Shawnee to me.
Yeah, pair to pairs, they're always tough. There's a lot of the 2 lanes are often different, and they are not always the right lanes, which makes it particularly tricky unless you have some background to guess. And as usual, your bad shots don't leave a lot of easy makeables most of the time there.
Mm-hmm.
You leave a lot of 210s. There's a lot of big 4s there on the bad shots, and and the racks are always interesting, but. Once again, thank you to Fire Lake and Chris Skillings and Rick Justice for hosting us and basically putting on the biggest regional of the summer.
Yeah, no, it was like I say, it was great to be back there, even if it isn't necessarily my most successful place. It's fun. I enjoy going there. I just don't do very well bowling there, like relative to everybody else. But I like the people. I like having a good time up there. And like I say, we were when we were driving up, my friend, we went past a couple of farms. And he goes, "Oh, you could be like a real Texan. Let's stop and get you some livestock." There's some chickens and some ducklings for sale.
Speaking of,
here he is, the king. Tomorrow, Rambo Ray.
Coming in hot. We're going to have a little different perspective tomorrow. So.
Yes, sir. He can give us from the gamer perspective of what they're doing, whether they need to socially distant, what their rules are, because they're still playing tournaments, Call of Duty tournaments at the minute, or I think they are. Ray's the manager now. He's at the age of 30. He's past his peak. He is, yeah. He's the manager of the Dallas Empire.
Yes, that is it. That is it. I'm surprised he didn't bowl this weekend, actually. But and speaking of the biggest fish I know, Bob Trout. He was a lot of the reason why Jonesboro became the most successful regional in the Southwest there for a long time. Developed a golf course out there that all of us came and played, and was a great host. And he is now Michael Holloman's sponsor. So Bob is also a wrong-hander, so there's some kindred spirit there. And he was the one that took a chance on him, and then he made the Masters show and made good there. And then the World Series in Detroit make a show where he made a few finals. He knocked me out of one of them that I thought I was going to make, though. I know that.
He'll carry you pretty consistently.
Yeah,
he last game as well to do it.
Yeah, he thumped me in the last game, doing the multiple loft game on me. So it's.
Ray says, "Yeah, we can play from home. Can't really bowl over the internet." Oh, I disagree. I kicked Kyle Troop's ass over the internet.
And Colshire, the hottest guy in the Southwest region, he had a little run where he shot a 300 every week in league for like 5 weeks in a row. Not the easiest thing to do. And he is just starting his foray into the regionals. And I think he's a great example of kind of the transition from, becoming really good and bowling locally and then starting to move to the next level. And he's starting to make waves. Finished 4th in Odessa, I believe it was. On a hard short pattern, and then ran into some things where the difficulty happens. There is I think he misjudged the pace and didn't take some chances that he probably should have taken, and got a bad read. He went down and watched AJ Chapman about switching from urethane to reactive. About the time AJ went gutter, and scooped him off of it, and I think that was a mistake because I think Cole would have put a beating on him the last 4 had he been hooking it, but. As you can see, he said it stuck with urethane the entire time. It was 93 over, being a little too conservative. And that's a big part of the next level, is understanding what the pace is, because it's not always that obvious. And it's hard at the beginning when you're still kind of judging how good the field is relative to the people you're bowling against at home. So,
a nice tip here, Cole, in this region. If you're bowling at Shawnee, conservative is never the answer. The scores in Shawnee are never low. Like, I think one time they bowled a regional there and they made it miserable. Every other time, pretty much every time I've ever been there for the region, it bounces off the gutter and it's strike fest. This might have been one of the lowest scoring regionals I've played. Love, Ray's going to be on tomorrow.
Yeah, let's save that one.
We'll get into that tomorrow.
Gid coming in the comment. Appreciate it.
Nice.
He did not have his best tournament. The last time we saw Gid in Shawnee, he bowled pretty well against us. Not his best one yesterday. Tuesday pod games should be coming there a little bit more often. Help get himself ready for those. Although, let's be honest, the 37-foot Holman at University was about 30 pins a game lower than it was at Shawnee. So.
Helpful hint, always move left in Shawnee.
Yeah, well, Andy's a left-hander. So, yeah, staying on the gutter is pretty much the advice in Shawnee, as well as every other hander you ever bowl at in the region. So,
when did you guys know you were ready for tour? Well, I didn't really know I was ready for tour. I was just felt like I was at a crossroads on the European tour, and I wasn't getting any better. So I manned up and played the tour trials and managed to get through. So I don't know whether I was ready when I got there, but I qualified. So
my moment was the Super Hoinky. Back when the Super Hoinky was still pretty big, they'd gone to all these sweepers, and it was a place I didn't bowl great at. Lenny Nicholson just became the lane man for the high rollers, and so I knew they were about to the goal was basically to move that money around. And it wasn't just going to be the power players, which ironically enough I was back then. And so it was time to see. I didn't really have anything else left to prove for me. So I didn't know if I was ready for tour, but I knew that was the logical next step because I was running out of goals to motivate myself to get ready for some of these mega buck short format events. And I wanted to see if I could keep up with the best of the best.
James Graham says, how do I like living in Texas and bowling in the Southwest region? I can tell you that I really appreciate living in Texas during this whole COVID issue because I don't know with the family situation I have that it would be as easy to do what Jacob's doing, which is get on a plane every weekend and come out and bowl over here. And I'm also not as successful as Jacob, so knowing that you're going to win 50% or 60% of the tournaments you play makes it a little easier to pry off those plane flights. The gutter plays on the left. Weird. Yeah, Tony, weird. Josh says, when do you think someone is ready to try regionals, not just donate? For me, when you can do more than a couple of things, so you need to have a couple of speed changes that you feel confident with, and maybe like 2 releases, because that gives you a lot of different options. If, say, you can have a faster speed and a slower speed, and even if you only have an up the back release and a kind of, for you, more rounded release, then you've got like 6 different options. Just to wait, and then you've got a chance. And the regionals are there, and yeah, that would be what I would say is the way to go.
Yeah, obviously bowling good locally and some of those things is helpful. I mean, a good way these days, there's a lot of non-champions events, so it's a good way to get your feet wet and really get an idea. You know, you can gain some experience while you're learning. Those first couple, it's the same for everybody. The first couple are a little tougher because the environment changes.
You could also, depending on which area you're in, you could check out some of the tournament clubs. Here in South Texas, down in San Antonio, Jeff Hartsfield runs his ice strike events that tend to bowl on patterns. They're not necessarily like completely flat, but they're a lot flatter than a house shot. So they're a pretty good learning curve. In Austin specifically, we have in north of Austin, in Georgetown, we have a tournament club, Top Dog. They bowl on stuff that is absolutely miserable. That's just the selling point of it. They're horrific. That's the way they go with it. So those sorts of things. Yeah, you're in Detroit. Yeah, I'm sure that there's plenty of things. Maybe reach out to Andrew Anderson or some of the guys up there. They can maybe give you an idea of some of the places that actually lay out some more challenging stuff. That might give you a better idea of whether you're ready to compete in some regionals.
Yeah, they'll do that at Delora Brothers or up at I guess Turbo does some things up there too as well.
He's a pretty good bowler.
Yeah, there's no he's way talented. So another one, I wish they'd come to Erie, PA. I wish we would come to Erie, PA too. One of the most fun stops on the tour. And aside from the fact that it was where I got my first title, so I have a lot of good memories there. But the fans were great there. It was a ton of fun to bowl there. It would be great if we could cycle back around, but I don't know what the current plans are. And until Pennsylvania's more open, it's probably we don't know what anything is for a while here. So
Nate says Shawnee was his first event. Didn't bowl well, but enjoyed seeing you guys. He's going to hit the non-champs in Houston this weekend. Well, good luck. Hopefully you can maybe you'll get a banner hanging in the Southwest region before I will. Get after it. Bowling at Emerald, I think. So
yeah,
make sure you take some there. Make sure you take skid.
Yeah, big time PBA roots in that family at Emerald. So
there's quite a bit of hook at Emerald. What would you tell younger self? Eat less.
Yeah, versatility was the thing. Like Stu said, I thought he nailed it. I thought have a couple of speeds, probably 3 by the time you want. If your long-term goal is going on tour, 3 different speeds, 3 different hand positions, and just challenge yourself to become more versatile as you go.
This is quite mean, but it did make me smirk a little bit. Frank, is how coming off the top rope?
Oh yeah, it's always good when the guys sitting on their couch have an idea of what they're talking about. And Frank generally does more than he doesn't. But
What a shock!
yeah,
Didn't see you as a Long Island guy.
yeah, man, it's really hard to tell who the East Coasters are.
Buff.
Yeah,
beefandbarnsley.com.
here we go. We'll throw the logo up there. And then we'll put the link in. So, beefandbarnsley.com. Easy to see that there.
Yeah. And then, please feel free to tag Beef and Barnsley Show when you get it done. We love seeing posts. I'm just trying to get to it right now. Here's one of our long-term fans, Dell. He got his today. He's sporting it at the Veterans Hospital. Thanks, Dell. Thanks for your service, and we really appreciate the support of the Beef and Barnsley Show. So
he is a frequent contributor. Like to see that. I'm sure Frank will be buying his T-shirt any day now because he's on all the time. You should have shown up and when I bowled all the action out there in Long Island, Frank. You'd have seen me strike out in the 10th on the few times I had to actually bowl the 10th frame. So. No, bring it on. I like it. No.
Oh, there you go. Here's somebody who's reaching out to John. Bowl Brian Regan's events in Michigan. His shots are challenging. That is when we were allowed to bowl in Michigan again. So there you go. Brian Regan stuff.
Our fans are the best. We take as many shots as anybody else. So
exactly. You've got a good eye. Exact size and everything.
Just nailed it.
Good eye.
Frank, what are you? XL 2? I'm going with 2X, just without ever seeing anything other than your thumbnail there. I don't know.
With the second name, I'm going for medium. It's always worth it, but watch it on YouTube because we get paid more for the stuff you watch on YouTube.
Yeah, we get like 30 cents or something if you watch it there. So, I mean, we are getting rich off this endeavor.
The only problem is we keep spending the money that we make more than once, so then it doesn't help. Oh, we'll use it for this, and we'll use it for this. Oh, we already spent it.
Yeah.
So. But we had some the YouTube gurus were helping us out. They even looked slightly impressed at some points. Brad and Wesley this weekend. I got a tip of the cap from Brad. He was quite impressed with our average view time and stuff. So yeah,
we do have great fans. I tell you what, and they make it a lot of fun. Frank, I also enjoy it when you troll the guests more than me, but. To be fair, everyone else likes it better when you troll me, probably. So,
but breaking news: Thursday is definitely going to be exciting if you want to troll Chris.
Yeah, but I want to. Yeah, super. Yeah, I got two of them to be coming off the top rope. So
we have Dave Lamont, me. I'm one of the greatest female bowlers of all time, and Chris's nemesis, Kelly Kulick.
I was there to help make that happen too. So yeah, although I didn't really help anything, I didn't have much say over it. She just
steamrolled you.
She put the beat down on me.
What is the next event for you guys? Plano doubles, Fort Sill, Texas. So right, I'm not bowling Planet doubles just because. It's a 700-mile round trip back to Oklahoma, and I did it this weekend. I don't want to do it back-to-back weekends. My wife is gonna bowl in New Braunfels. She's bowling the ITA, which I'm not allowed to bowl. And then the weekend after, I am double dipping. I'm bowling the Kickoff Classic, or whatever we're calling it at the minute, Dino's event, and I'm also bowling the SASPA 60-50-50 guest. So yeah. That's going to be a busy weekend for me. We might even, if I can get a hall pass from my wife, we might even go up and film some stuff with Chris on the Thursday and the Friday. So that's my plan at the minute. So yeah, keep looking out. I think we're going to call this a day. This was just a little brief jump in to talk about what we did at the weekend. Tomorrow we've got the show. Chris is being Father of the Year and driving up to Wichita. Is it tomorrow?
Wichita tomorrow, and Nacogdoches on Thursday. And
for the uninitiated, is that Houston?
No, it is 3 hours in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
It's sort of towards Houston. It's southeast east, I would say. East southeast is probably the technical depth. But yeah, 3 hours and 15 minutes that way, back and forth on that day. And then, yeah, well, here's the most obvious. At least he's making up for it, though. It all evens out because now he's got me as a partner. So
that's a good question, Martin. Send me a message on the Beef and Barnsley page, and I will find an answer for you. And actually tell me where you want it sent, and then I can figure it out with our supplier.
Nate Garcia, it's good to see you too. As usual, I cross next to you like I do in every single PBA or regional that I ever bowl ever. You're always on the pair next to me or on the same pair in the random PBA crossing assignments. Yeah, no kidding. Stephen F. Austin, when he first brought it up, my son brought it up. It's a good music school. He's going there to play bassoon in March. And I went, oh, okay, well, it's got to be close to Austin. Not so fast, my friend. It's nowhere near Austin. And,
no, that's yeah. So, okay, well, we're going to roll the music.
We roll the Kevin Williams inspired theme, or again, I get punched in the.
But thanks for tuning in for this real quick show. Again, if you're watching this video on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Check out the links in the description. We're going to have all the balls linked. Go over to bowlersmart.com and pick yourself up a deal.
All right, guys. Thanks again. Again, tomorrow, Dave Lamont co-hosting with Stu, and we'll have Rambo Ray from the Dallas Empire and Call of Duty. So bowlers and gamers unite tomorrow. And I'll try and be watching from the road, but I'm sure you'll manage without me. I'll hear about or feel the punches later. So till then, hope you guys had a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, support your local bowling centers. And until next time, God bless.
Take it easy.